What's going on in the world today? What's up, VJ? Vijay, hopefully I pronounced it correctly, but I want to apologize about me being late to the meeting the other day. I actually have around 2,400 agents in my network and partners and team leaders alike, and I was rolling out some new marketing in Wichita, Kansas, to that group, and there was some formatting issues on some of the marketing material when it was saved, and so I had to go in there and clean it up before it actually went, got rolled out and stuff like that. I'll even show that stuff to you today. So, or kind of show you, some new stuff because I've actually through this market shift, I'm having to, upgrade some of our products. And I don't know how long you've been in real estate, but for me, I've been through a shift like this before, and it was right when I got into real estate, and I've done very well. I started closing around 1,000 houses a year back in 2014. So I've been at this a while. But what I did want to show you was some math to, the model and, trying to reach out to sharp individuals like yourself. I've been building up in Toronto and have partners and alike up there for about 4 years now. And I'm going to be up there running an event. And I was actually working on some of the presentation stuff earlier today and yesterday, but I'll show you that. But I want to get into the math with you real quick, so we can look at that. And but I wanted to be able to get this to you before going into the weekend. So I believe you close 50 deals, and I'm going off the average sales price up there, at least with my partners and things like that. We're about around 800,000 to a million. And so I want to be conservative with you with the numbers, and then 2.5%, commission, right? Looks like you created about $1 million in GCI. Congratulations, man! Doing 50 deals by yourself, I love that, man. Most people up there are doing 7, 12, 15 deals and 20, and they think that's good, right? So I love it, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about myself, once we get through the numbers. So you actually know who you're dealing with and who you're talking with. But just want to stay focused on the math for right now. And then if we take the 800K, right, times 2.5%, your average commission is about 20,000. Before whatever you pay your current people or whatever, right? Your certain agreement. Now, with us, like the most amount of money you'll ever pay out of that piece of it is there's a cap of 16,000. Okay. And I can get into the splits and different things later, but the splits don't matter. What you net profit, how profitable you are at the end of the year by what you're currently doing now, or where the other growth opportunities and income opportunities are, because I can show you how we're going to create an additional residual income piece for you, how you're going to build ownership into this thing without a big investment, and then what your current production looks like as well. So, for basically for you to cap out and start getting paid 100% on every deal after that in our ecosystem, you're going to have to close 4 houses. And so the most amount of money that you'll ever pay off your split is 16,000. Now, you're an icon agent. So this is a 100% plus model for you across the board. Now, what I mean by that is you will be awarded back this 16,000 in the form of stock, and it's a publicly traded stock on the NASDAQ. It's called EXPI. Okay. And so when you close 24 houses, that is when you're awarded back that in the form of stock and ownership. And so this is a 100% model for you right here. Okay. Now I'm going to show you where we can make it a plus, plus, plus. And I'm talking about net profitability. So on top of all the homes I sell and everything that I do, I was almost paid an additional $1 million. Yes, $1 million. And I'll show you all my back end stuff when you and I meet, and the dashboard and the business solution tools and enterprise and all of that stuff, right? Because, I was compensated for my contribution because this is not a franchise. So there's no franchise owners. There's no local territory owners. There's no regional owners. There's none of that stuff. And so it's just us, the agents and team leaders and owners that are building this thing. And then we're also able to partake in the additional revenue, like if we're had ownership, because we do, right? And you will too. So this is your numbers, right? And hopefully that's pretty correct. So if you come over here to the spreadsheet, I want to get down to like net numbers with you, just to see like what the cost would be, even if you didn't do much more. I had a guy join me that I'll show you in a minute. Went from 30 deals to 250 in 2 years. I had one guy doing 200 closings with the traditional team, and he went right at 800. Another guy around 150 closings to over 500. Everyone is growing, right? And so, like, I'll show you all this stuff. But right here, if you look, this is your GCI of 1 million, and the reason I wrote that out for you because so you can see how I, how I came to them numbers, and they're accurate, right? So, you're going to get a CRM, a lead generation tool that's, that you can start generating seller leads and buyer leads right off the bat. You're going to get, your business solution tools with your transaction management, all your digital signatures, basically everything to run your business. Your cloud office, the 500 employees in there, all the training, 12 hours of training from not just the like people that used to do it or some type of certified trainer. No, those are people like me, people like you. Like I was paid on 8,000 closings last year. All right. And I'm operating in 5 countries with my network, right? And in 35 markets here in the United States. And so when I look at that's just crazy to me. And so this is definitely for people that want to grow, that want to be more profitable. And I was an independent before I came here, and so if you look at your closings ends right here, you can see, and I don't know if you can see my little thing that lights up, but I don't know, 50 closings, right? But we have a tech fee, a cloud fee, and all of that stuff is only $85 a month. Just the lead generation tool alone. If you go try to price that on the open market, it's $500 a month just for that one product. And you're getting $1 billion piece of technology with Verbellum. Okay, you're getting all the transaction management stuff. We're also giving you all the other essential tools that you're going to need to be able to operate your business that we can get into later. Because I just wanted to say hi and just touch on the numbers and tell you a little bit about myself and kind of hit on some five pillars or so. Now, the broker model that you're used to working into a top-down RAM model. You're probably in the flat fee model. I think Gary said at $500 a pop. So it's the math is going to be probably about right there, 500 times. So you're paying, I think, $500 a month. Times 50 deals, that's 25,000. Then you're paying 100 or so bucks a month. And so when we actually look at this, let's stay focused on what what you pay in versus what like your net is, your net, right? Like that's the only thing is how profitable you are in comparison to how much value you get versus the value that you currently get now. And then the opportunity to add additional income streams in. Brokers, they have a full broker team built out around us. And so all they do all day long, the broker assistants and the broker, is sit there and service the agent, right? Keep them compliant, answer their questions inside of the cloud office, inside of workplace, and through email, phone calls, everything to keep you getting deals done. Make sure you're compliant, and then also make sure you get paid the day of closing. Okay. And so on every file, you can see right here that you're going to pay $50 per file. So off of the deals that you have done, right, you would end up paying in $2,500 for that. And then the tech fee for 12 months is over $1,000. Okay. So now when we come over here to the TC fee after cap, I'll explain this to you. That you'll get charged $250 on only 20 deals. Okay. And that's all you're paying for that. And then you're paying that $5,000. All right. And then when you come down here, after because you don't have any transaction fees until you cap. Okay. And I showed you when you cap and paying all your cap money, then you're on a pure 100% split, like they are 100%, right? And that's when the $250 kicks in. Okay. And then once you pay in, on 20 deals, then you icon, right? and that's what enables the 16,000 to be given back to you because you're an icon agent. So the 16's awarded back to you. And then for every deal after that, you're paying $75. Okay. And then 26 deals. Yep. So that's right. So then you would pay $75. So it corrected the math correctly because the spreadsheet changes. So then you pay $75 on 26 deals. That's $19.50. Okay. And then the 16,000 that you would pay in on your first 4 deals before you go on a pure 100% split is the 16,000 right here. So true operating costs for what you're currently doing are 26,000. Okay. Now you're going to get 16,000 of that 26,000 back. So once we look at the summary, okay, your GCI was $1 million, right? Your cost was 26,000. You icon, and so you were awarded back the 16,000 there in the form of stock ownership, right? And so your net income with us, if nothing changed, was around $989,000. Now, value unarticulated is value unappreciated. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to actually kind of burn through some of the tech and different things that you're going to get. And I would like to be able to set another appointment with you because we have spreadsheets, how you run teams, marketing, all types of different stuff, man. Units, we build big traditional teams and we build big modern teams. So I can tell you I have 2,400 agents, partners, and things like that. And tell you I got paid on 8,000 closings and so on and so forth. But we're actually moving a lot more units than that because of the 100% model. We're empowering agents. We're empowering them with ownership. We're helping them break free. It's basically we're working inside of a model, that is a single agent owned brokerage that's not constricted by borders. And so it's a borderless brokerage that is being supported locally, right, by people like in my area, your area, wherever, to help you, be more efficient, get more deals done, all that stuff. Because your brokers are in your area. Actually, the brokers actually have offices. We have offices there. So it's all personal preference what we want to do with it, right? But it's all about net opportunity. Who can also help you sell more homes, and how are you going to be more profitable without making a big investment into buying more rentals, buying a franchise, any of that stuff, right? And so I would question if you are, are you paying in more than $10,000? Yes, you are. Like if you're on that $500 a pop at 50 a deal, and then the $100 a month, you're just very at a conservative level, 26,000 is what you're paying in, right? So even right here, even if you did not icon, you're getting way more value in this model that I'm going to break down, or we can show you even later than the current model you're in currently. Okay. So hopefully we're clear on the math there. Know why it didn't convert over to my, you want to know why? Because I'm in the US conversion numbers. Let me switch over to Canada. Okay, boom. There we go. Now we're in the Canadian conversion numbers. I apologize. So all right, so cool. Now when you sell your home every single year, you're going to get $200 every year. When you sell your first house, $200 in stock. When you cap and when you sell them first 4 houses, you get $400. Now, since there's no recruiters, team leaders, builders like traditionally who recruits, it's just us, the agents. So when you share this model with someone, or you find a sharp individual that you want to partner with and sell houses with, and when you bring them into the ecosystem and they sell their first home, you're awarded $400 worth of stock when they close their first house. There's a retirement plan and there's some other things that I'm going to get into, but it looks like off of these numbers, we got the GCI right here of $1 million, personal closings 50. After you cap, it was 26, right? Or after you cap, it's 46 because it's going to take you 4 deals to cap. After you cap, there's going to be 46 more deals, right? Okay, so for all your tech and everything's 139, so it'd be 16, a little over 16,000. Your broker review file fee on every single deal on 50 ends is 1,400. All right, post cap, no, that kicks in as the 285 after you cap, right? for 20 deals, and then you're going to pay in the 5,700. So you icon at that point, and then your transaction fee drops down to $75 until your anniversary restart date every single year, and then you'll go through the same cycle. And then if nothing changes, that's you're basically $2,000, right? Pretty close to it. And so there's then again, EXP cost doesn't really change with the conversion that much. Um, when you look at it, you're still awarded the 16,000 back. So out of pocket expenses is $10,000. Okay, with everything all in, and then it looks like you're going to end up around 989 thousand, right there. Still pretty close, pretty close. And you get the lead generation tool. Like I said, you go try to price KB Core. It's right here. 80 hours of live training. Like, this isn't from, like I said, just some basic people. It's the who's who, who's doing it, who's number one, number two, number three, and really sharing what's working, how they're building out predictable businesses with their SOI. They're farming, they're raving fans. Or if you're like me, big into internet marketing, lead conversion, database management. We built client care departments, all those different things, right? And then you're getting just off of what you're doing currently off your sales, it's about $1,000 back on top of that as well, And so that's pretty cool, man. So when you actually stop and look at it, hopefully you can appreciate it. Sorry that I wasn't on the Canadian numbers to start off with. It's just that's what the sheet had. What I had pulled up, and I thought I clicked that tab. I apologize. So, this is my 12th year in real estate, and I had gotten in and really cut my teeth the hard way. Like I was telling you during the last recession, I was making $300 a week, setting appointments for agents at an independent brokerage. And then, just kind of scaled up from there and helped build a resource center, a call center, and, and all of that fun stuff. And I got my license. My very first year, I sold 24 houses, and my average sales price is only 180,000, right? And so you can see I went on to sell $1 billion worth of real estate. Ended up building a brokerage up to over 90 people. Opened 5 expansion offices, so we had 6 offices total. Like, we were really doing it, and so. We ended up being ranked top 10 in the nation with me running the company once I got some ownership in it. And I also started a coaching company off of it. So, like, from 2012 to 2017, we were ranked 9th to 12th in the nation, bouncing around those spots in the Wall Street Journal. And when my coaching company and how we were letting people shadow us through live and direct and experiential learning and, some of our other coaching platforms, like, we had people wanting to get in business with us, and we couldn't execute on it because of geography, or they invested a lot of money into their brand, or was already tied into market centers, and so we couldn't make the numbers work. And so partnerships with this company, you still run your own P&L, you manage it, you own your brand 100%. However, this company incentivizes us and compensates us to be able to work together. And so when I'm telling you we started closing over 1,000 houses a year, that was back in like 2014, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But one of the things that we specialize in is traditional team building, and and showing other people how to expand their business with proven systems. I mean, and I told you about some of them, and I'll actually show you some pictures of them. And it's basically allowed us and them to start closing 10, 20, 30 houses a week in, week out, without fail. Also build a new revenue stream and be able to obtain all this leading edge technology to grow our business, because EXP is not making any one of us successful. Let's not get that twisted up in this deal. And so people are doing business with you because of you, and people are going to do business with me because of me, right? And my team or my partners or marketing or whatever. And so when I look at it, it's like, but this is the best model to build at long term in terms of profitability. I just showed you how you're going to be more profitable with us if you don't do anything. But you are a go-getter, and you're closing 50 deals when you could be doing 7, 10, 15 just off volume. And then it's like, when you're at where you're at, I know exactly what you need next, and what has to be built around you is certain systems and admin, and bringing in a few other agents and put in a few other marketing pillars. to get it predictable, right? You need some predictability. And by now, most people have heard about EXP, right? But they think that they know what it's really about. And in reality, they don't. They don't know how the tech works. They don't know how the lead generation works. They don't know how the partnerships work, the branding, how the stock really works, how you're awarded ownership. They don't know. Like they think they understand it because their friend told them or another agent. And so, I, one of the things that I will do for you when you hit me back up is I'll show you how to add that residual income stream that I was talking about that is going to set you up with an exit strategy. And it's literally compounding monthly every single month for me. So for an example, if I told you that my business is growing by 6 or 7% profitability and agent count every single month, month in, month out, would that be worth a few minutes every time to see how I'm doing that? Like without a doubt. And I'll also be able to grab you by the hand and walk you through that and show you how you could do it for yourself as well. And so when I'm saying it grows by 6% every month, that's not what the number it is. It grows by 6%. So, I had 150 people join the network in the last 30 days. And that is growing with volume and units and everything, right? And I have about 90% leverage created in my business. Like right now, you trade time for money, and I used to have to do those things. Even it didn't matter of how I ran my brokerage. Like you can see that picture behind there. Those are agents in my brokerage, and I had to train them. And like we started at zero every single month, right? And if I wasn't doing what I needed to get done, my business wasn't growing. It didn't matter. If I wasn't getting out and selling houses when I was actually out in the field selling houses before I worked my way out of the field, I like it wasn't happening, right? And so now, today I have a business where I've developed leaders, other top level people that are incentivized to help me build because they're incentivized to build their own stuff and their people's incentivized to build their own stuff. And so this being a single agent owned brokerage, people are like, what's different, right? And there's really never been a business model where the financial alignment allowed for me to work for you for free. Like, yes, the $16,000 cap that goes to EXP and it comes back in terms of a different pillar called revenue share, but you're not giving anything up to me. And when I get to the coaching piece, or we get into it later, we have people that's going to help you that is in my network and in business with me, and they're charging still 2,000, 2,500 bucks a month, and you're going to have access to all of that stuff. And I'm not talking about one person, two people. These are legit people building at a high level that charge for this type of information. I just no longer do it anymore. I sold the coaching company because I wanted to invest in my own people. And when you're adding 150 people a month into your business and your organization, you want retention to be really well. You want people to be successful. People were like, how do you guys have so many people joining your network, and why? The reason why is because we sell a lot of houses. And you know who else wants to sell a lot of houses? Other agents that's trying to grow and sell a lot of houses. So it translates into an easy conversation. And you're probably asking yourself, well, then why did you come to EXP? You're 11th in the nation. You're doing like all the top 10 running this, great for 5 years. When you sell so many houses and you do what we have done, anybody would have died to be in my position. That's why they're giving me money. That's why they're coaching with me. But I was up against a glass ceiling that no one could see except me and a few other people. And then it's like you have to remove that constraint and you have to solve that, or you just have to be content with that's what your life is. Because I could have said I can be top 5 in the nation and selling houses, but what would that have done? It would have created more pain for me, right? I got a lot of awards, I got a lot of plaques, but I was traveling the planet at that time, seeking growth models, studying everything, paying, and still coaching with everyone under the sun. And I was at Tony Robbins' event. I was burnt out. I'm trying to launch this coaching company at this time because there was a lot of pressure when people were like wanting me to help them, or I'm meeting people at events and I'm wanting to, but it's like I wasn't a coaching company. A coaching company is traditionally a publishing company, right? And through being at the Unleash the Power Within at this event, I was sitting around masterminding with some tech guys. They're not in real estate. Everybody's from all walks of life at this event. And I was watching this guy speak about how he was developing all of these engineers and scaling up his business. And I said, he is developing these engineers on a much more complex level than real estate, like 10, 20 times faster than I am. And I just couldn't believe it. And so then, I ended up in this little inner circle with him because you get in breakout sessions. And so I started asking him, and then he asked me, "Are you doing this?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Are you doing that?" And yeah, okay. And you're doing this? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he's like, you're already doing what you need to do. You just need to like format things in terms of documentation and how people learn psychologically. And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, have you heard about experiential learning? And I said, no. And he's like, people learn best by putting their hands on it. People learn best by seeing me on audio or us on things on audio, visual, right? Like people, some people learn better by listening, audio. Other people like through kinesthetics, right? So it's like if you take all of that and wrap it into one, the product that people were wanting help with was making phone calls, listening to live calls, database management. How do you manage your leads? How are you converting a bunch of internet leads and doing all this stuff? Because aren't internet leads bad? Yes, but you got to understand cash conversion cycles, right? And there's a process that I put in place in 2011, 2012 when nobody could really figure that stuff out to get a predictable business going. And so we were trying to build a team to be able to do whatever we want, wherever we wanted, with whomever we wanted, and have leverage in our business where we was not a slave to being a sales manager, being a broker, being a team leader, being an expansion partner, right? And so you can see this is the guy that got me in real estate, Gerbic here. And when I was making the $300 a week, and he was already closing about 300, 350, 380 homes. He had a listing business. He was running ads on the radio. People were calling him, and he had like a team of 5, and he was highly profitable and just doing the damn thing. And then we came in and started building the call center and other things. And then in 2012, we grew by 75%, and we closed 688 homes that year. I was leaving. I had tons of people making offers to me, Remax, KW, like everybody. But it was like I really felt like I wasn't done learning from this guy yet. But I went to him and said, "Look, man, I'm gonna help you get to 1,000 houses, and then I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna help you get to 1,000 because nobody was doing them numbers at that time, nobody." And so he's like, "Okay." And then he seen that we grew from 688 homes to 853. And then, he turned the brokerage over to me, gave me ownership, and let me do my thing. And so 2014 is when I busted 1,000 and launched the coaching company and did all of those things. But when you're talking about the vision, it was to step out of the field so I can work on my business, not so much in it. Because I was like, let's build a business. Because if you're not building systems, focus on people, processes, marketing, all you have is a high paying job. What is your exit strategy? What is your game plan? That would be my question to you. And so it's like I'm always starting something with beginning it with the end in mind. Have you ever been to an agent retirement party? I haven't. I've seen a lot of old people still struggling, or a lot of smart people broke. I know a lot of smart broke agents, and so like I'm not the smartest person, but I'm going to wire up a business and get it flowing with money and get it predictable. And when I really got into that position and started building, I really thought it had to get built because of me. And I thought that I had to do all the work just like I had to do when I was an agent. And that's not true. Like you need showing partners, you need to create leverage, you need listing help, you need transaction coordination help, you need carrier help, you need marketing help, right? And so then I learned that you don't build a business, you develop people and they help you build the business because you need to learn, think, and create together, all in one. And that's really kind of what started the path to team building. And then, when I was needing to, basically solve a solution, and I said no for a year and a half to this model, right? I was like, there's no way in hell, because I was looking at it differently, because we were running high powered tech at the time. We were profiting over $1 million. I'd already worked my way out of the field, right? However, I didn't know what I didn't know. But once I saw it and somebody showed me what I'm going to show you on the next call that we're going to have, it was hard for me to unsee it. I could not sleep at night. It was all I thought about. And that was it, and then, once I launched and did whatever, the rest is history. This is a screenshot of about how many agents I have. These are some of the first, this is live and direct, the first product that I kicked off with, because I would probably wouldn't have started a coaching company if I wouldn't have picked up that one piece of information at Tony Robbins. If I didn't learn about experiential learning and see that engineer company and guy, how he was little bootstrapping it, damn near in the same position as me, just in a different industry, kicking my ass with how he was developing people on something way harder to learn, and how I sought him out and asked him questions and spent time with him, none of this would have happened, right? And so when you look at these pictures right here are in Toronto. Like I've been building in Toronto. I have partners in Toronto. You're going to see me up there soon. And so This was after we ran an event right here in Toronto, and this is Jared, Amanda, and it's like this is in Toronto. This is in Toronto, getting some camera crew. These are people that was at the Toronto event. A couple of them have been in business with me, but now every single one of these people are in business with me. At this event right here too, he's not pictured here. We had a Royal LePage broker come, and we were getting agents hopping from his brokerage over to us. And so I was going up there once a month, not because I was trying to build there. I already have partners there that I've been selling with me, and then they're like, "Dude, nobody knows anything about this model, and it's all false." And so I said, what we'll do is come up there and educate around the model. And so I was like, we can do some educational events. We can do some training events because I'm not a big recruiter. I don't recruit. I find like-minded people and we build businesses together. Now, recruiting and attraction with teams is part of that, right? But I already told you, we sell houses, we're growing. You know who's attracted to that, right? And so this right here is in Toronto, where when I first went there, my very first month, I had 3 people come. 3 people showed up. We did an event out west, out east, and then downtown because you understand how big it is, right? My last time, this isn't the last time. I went there 3 months in a row for 1 week before COVID hit, and then I couldn't go no more, right? And so you can see here, this is a pretty full room. But by the time I was up there for my 3rd month, and I'm not recruiting, I'm not running ads, we're not doing the old stuff. We had 50, 60 people in every single one of those meetings. And then when I flew back home, I thought, because EXP's been there and taken off, but it's like, I'm not EXP corporate. It's like, I'm like you, like we're still in this and building, right? And selling houses and growing teams and all of that stuff. I thought it was, all for a waste. And then next thing you know, people did their homework. They started studying. They started joining. More people started joining. That broker from Royal LePage that came to poke holes in the model and like basically tell his agents why it wouldn't work, and he just spent a week with me or whatever, and he didn't tell me at the end. He just showed up to all 3 events, and then at the last event on the last day, he came up to me and he's like, "Hey man," I'm like, "What?" And he's like, I'm a broker here in town, and here is what I do, and you had got some of my agents last time you were in town, and so I wanted to see what it was all about and more so how to counteract it. And he's like, "I got you beat on splits. On splits, I have you beat." And he's like, "But you know what you got me beat on?" He's like, "Profitability." And he's like, also equity, stock, and then revenue share and residual income and all the other technology. And he's like, when people actually see this stuff and they get it, he's like, you guys are going to get a lot of people. And I said, I know, but first we got to understand it, right? Because we're looking at it through the old lenses in the old way. And so let's look at it just straight from profitability and then reverse engineer off of that. And so this guy right here is the guy that went from 30 units to 250 right here. This guy right here runs a big business, runs a coaching company too. He's out of Dallas, but this, since I'm going back to Toronto, and this is what I've rebuilt some of my slides and different things for this for that. This is the guy that did 200 units to 800. But all of these people right here, like you, they're just single agents doing high production. This guy makes, about $500,000 out in Washington, and he is in a lower end price range. And I'm talking about like 200,000, 300,000. And so he's just doing units, but they're all icon agents. This is all 100% model for them. And where the plus comes involved is when you start referring your friends or they start referring friends, because there's a 7-tiered partnership with this. So when I tell you I made almost $1 million and I have 2,500 agents, it's because I want you to think like I didn't go out and do all that stuff. And so I built through my people. And so when you think of the franchise model, I opened up with about 25 people. I've sponsored 25 people, and then I built through them. So it's like me opening 25 franchises without cost, without paying the franchise fee, without being restricted to a territory or any of that old stuff, right? And so yes, I did sponsor and attract 25 people, and I do help my people attract and get deals done. This is me educating in Dallas here. You can see Gustavo right here. You see all them awards right there at the top. Like that, them are icon awards. But you know what? Gustavo can't eat them things. You know what? His kids can't cash them in later on in life. Like me telling you, I got a bunch of awards. Like they don't mean shit anymore. Like it's like I look at them and there's a lot of pain. Real estate has provided a lot to me, but it's taken a lot away from me too. And so, but what Gustavo has behind each one of those is 16,000, but it's just not 16,000 because it's given to you in the form of stock. So that money is growing over time too. We have masterminds every 90 days. Like our next one's in Dallas and the 25th, that's my sponsor, the guy that sponsored me into the business. He closes about 600 houses in Washington, has ownership and title, or not Washington, I'm sorry, Arizona, and title, mortgage. But he has a modern network and team of about 5,000 agents. And I don't know what his numbers are, but you can see in August, we'll be here, Tony Robbins, the guy that I told you from 8, 9 years ago when I picked up that technique that helped change me when I was an independent. He's actually going to be here. He's here at our build event last year, but we're in Cabo, Puerto Vallarta. We run our masterminds every 90 days, and then there's a couple of corporate events. And so, like, if you can, man, you need to get down to Dallas at all costs if any of this stuff interests you. And there's an offer on the table for a few other people from Toronto that's looking at this model that's producing that sharp like you that I'm speaking with that I've extended the invite to. And so we could talk about that on our next call, but this will be what you'll be doing, hitting these masterminds up because you're going to want to learn how we're doing it, like staying up to date. So you're really jumping in with the top modern team builders, brokerage builders, and traditional team builders in the world globally. Like I'm in business with a number one, number two, number three, number four agent out of 80,000 people in the fastest growing brokerage on the planet that we have ownership in. My sponsor is number 19th, and I'm ranked 31st right now. And I can show you that here in a bit. But this is my team where I'm training them. It's all independent stuff. If I wasn't doing this, it never got done. If I wasn't developing the new people, if I wasn't kissing the veterans' ass or having to make tough decisions with lead generation. And this is us trying to figure out lead generation. And this is us trying to scale up the teams and all that stuff, figure out how to solve problems, how to bring more value to our agents, how to, fix the turnover, nutrition stuff, because people want to go and keep more of their own money or build their own business. But why can't we all build a business together and everybody own their own stuff, right? And so these are things that we were really trying to figure out. And this is where, we saw a path where we could partner with people like you, and provide you with all of our experience, systems, tools, training, leadership, everything without buying out of the box franchise or you coming and working for us or split or commission fees or any of that stuff. Right. Like, and you won't work for anyone. I don't work for anyone. None of my people work for me. Right. And so I'll show you how you'll be basically compensated through contribution if you're wanting to build and do some other things. But this is a presentation that I'm building for Toronto. It's basically a mastermind. It ain't even a presentation. It's a 2-day strategic growth acceleration event. You can see the slides where we get into all of this. So, what way or ways are you, compensated by your current broker? I only touched on a few of them. There's 8 different ways to make money here at EXP. 8 different ways, right? So this is like the team mastery training that was done today, whatever. And so I was editing some of that, but let me go back over here because, all right. So we just rolled out new PDFs and from the corporate did. So I was going through some of their stuff. Let's go down here and see what it says because all this stuff, they just rolled out new content. All the numbers came out from the Wall Street Journal and all of that. Where is the Okay. All right. So right here for you. So, they just came out with this new slide. So I'll end up putting this slide on there or making some modifications to this. And literally in the last 2 days, they just came out with these new slides, visuals. So it's at $199 to get started. Before to partner with me, I'd be asking for $50,000 right now. Right? Like that's what it was to open up and partner with us before. Or if you're trying to coach with me, or it's like a lot of people try to still get me to do it. And it's like your money is no good here because they don't understand geometric growth and they don't understand the compounding interest of our efforts. They don't understand that. I didn't know what tap rooting was. Tap rooting changed my real estate career just 4 years ago. It was actually 2 years ago when I actually got introduced to it, and I've already been here because it's like in this model, there's things that we can do differently that we haven't been able to do in any other brokerage. And so for, what you've seen on your spreadsheet with your net numbers and everything, with your monthly fee, it's $139. And the transaction fee, we saw that on the sheet. So the sheet was accurate. is 29. But what you don't have, I didn't put on the sheet for you, is the $17 risk management fee. And so that's what we're like, like you don't need to worry about that because this is for the rest of Canada. But you guys, your E&O insurance is paid a different way. Now the revenue share plan, you've seen me, or heard me touch and talk on that a lot, but it's like I'm not going to get into it, man. I just wanted to say what's up to you, and I told you I would get you that video due to you and I kind of hitting or missing with each other. But yeah, it's like I do want to meet you, man, and I do want to respect your time, and your time is valuable to me. And it pisses me off when people are late and or not showing up or letting me know neither. And so I apologize about that. But I was literally sitting on my desk and had the Zoom up, and I was recording and making some changes with some other marketing. And so I can show you that actually what I was working on that day, and show you the different things in terms of incorporating this stuff into your business. But before, like, I hop over here, so every dollar that comes in, 50 cents is given back to people like you and I on the corporate side, and it doesn't come out of our pocket. And when I was visually talking about, look, there's an international company, there's regions, right? And then there's local franchise owners, managers, recruiters, all of that stuff, right? Like right here, this is how traditional companies are set up. And then Glenn eliminated all these titled positions, and he said, now you can really go work with anyone that you want to work with. And now EXP is in 22 countries. So we can collaborate and work with anyone in 22 countries, drive revenue, do things with, share information, really disrupt, without a doubt. And the international company is working below us, right? Like normally we work for the international company, the brokers, the regional people, all of these things. I get passionate about it, right? And so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it's set up and all of that stuff. But let me jump over to some of the marketing stuff, and we'll go in depth. It'll take you multiple meetings to unpack this stuff to fully understand it, because this is not a basic situation. And when I was looking at it, it took me a year and a half. Now, I was helping my agents, for example, like this one, we were rolling out like the home buyer advantage program. And yeah, and these are the departments that you're will need to be built out, and the service and different things. And then the plug and play with it, because this isn't from corporate. These are just things that like in terms of differentiation, the home buyer advantage program, the love it or leave it guarantee. Like if you absolutely don't love your home within the first 6 months, we'll turn around and sell it for free, right? And then we have a value stacked with about 9 other benefits in there. Some's tangible, some's not. However, they're still going to pay the buyer agent, and that's in the fine print. And you might service less than 2% or 3 of those a year, but I'll show you actually how to collect transaction fees and do other things to get them to sign up for the program to offset other marketing costs, design costs, or whatever. Like, and you look at it, it's just straight across the board, and it's value stacked. Here's more, and it's like this was the actual addendum that we created to tie into the contract. On top of the full commission, we're also charging for the program. It's like buyer's remorse that, with just that love it or leave it guarantee. And, here's another example, like just plug and play, and how we show our partners how to position the program. And value unarticulated is always going to be value unappreciated, but cost is never, ever an issue in the presence of value. And 85% of the time they were going to sign up for this, or on the listing side, the worry-free stuff, right? And these are signs of houses he sold, and I plugged them in there, and like his testimonials, and added a little bit different stuff to this one for him to make it his, right? And then, it's like you can use some of this stuff and your digital marketing aspect of it. Like here's a flyer. The other one was a brochure, how you can break that stuff up, right? And then you we go over here, boom, boom. We can go over here and, show you how you getting agencies, how you getting commitments, right? And just be able to slide through this stuff on a desktop, or as you start developing your agents, giving them a framework to work off of. This is you right here, a traditional agent. You are doing everything yourself. You might have one assistant. I can't remember if that's what Mark said, but it's like, how do you duplicate that and really build out around the client, right? So EXP is an agent-centric company, and we're going to show you how to build a client-centric team, right? And so the brokerage for us is for us, not the client, right? And then how to adjust off, the market conditions, how to articulate that, all of these different things that will lead to you collecting agencies, getting more business, marketing a program. One of the things that we specialize is working with buyers just like you. Would that be worth a few minutes of your time to see how this could work for you? Right? And then you're going to want to be, and so right here, it's the love it or leave it guarantee built in there and built in with other programs, the raving fan stuff. And I can show you how to take your SOI, your past clients. Let's say you don't spend money on internet marketing, right? And how to take that money and, like I was saying in the beginning of this call, and build systems out, and invest lightly into these people, but get predictability with your referral business, and how to start to build this database of past clients and what to do with the past clients to generate more business. Right. But what is the lifetime value of a client that you close? I know them numbers. If you have the data, I can show it to you, and then like we'll show you how to tap root through them people as well for that technique, right? And the best part is it's absolutely free. Blah blah blah. They are signing up for all we ask for is your loyalty. You can fire us at any time, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, I got so much more to show you, man. But that's kind of what, in a nutshell, what we were going to get into. And so I wanted to show you your net numbers right there. Sorry, I started off in the U.S. Tab, not the Canadian tab. It caused some confusion. I apologize. But you do know your net numbers now. You do kind of, understand the person that you're speaking with. And yeah, and I'm going to be up there running some events. So I'd like to meet you. And I'd like for you to actually think about coming to Dallas, meet me down there as well. And, jumping on a Zoom call next week. Anyways, man, I appreciate you. I'll catch up with you later.